everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News, the show you most likely decided to watch because you wanna see if I still have my pajamas. The good news is, yes I do. The bad news is, League of Legends is getting its butt kicked by Wild Rift. Yes, there is a lot of news to talk about, but before we get to that, I need to confess. I made a mistake. Every time it happens, it always gets to me, and the truth is, every now and then, it happens. You see, when we talked about Bard in the last video, I mentioned that the main character there, who was Bard, not Bard, was from Valar's Hollow, which I said is where Brand is from. But that's not really the case. You see, Brand comes from Raigan's Reach. Valar's Hollow is right next to it. The story goes that Brand does burn his village down, eventually, and people move to Valar's Hollow instead. The reason why I thought that Brand was from Valar's Hollow is because in the original story we could see these two pictures. This was before the burning and after the burning. I knew I heard the name Valar's Hollow before, so I went to the map to check it out. There I clicked on the place and I saw the picture which I recognized and I was like, ah, that's where Brand is from. Nope, I just misremembered it, there's also the other place right next to it. So just know that unfortunately, no, the Bard from the Bard story is likely not related to Brand in any way, shape or form, and they highly likely never met because there on the map it is confirmed that Brand is centuries old. So even though in that video I talked about this fact for like 15 seconds, yeah, it gets to me. So I'm deeply sorry, and if I ever make a mistake in my video, just tell me in the comment section and I will pin it right there. No, picking Fnatic as the champions is not a mistake. But now, without further ado, let's get into the news! As always, starting with League of Legends, if you log in right now, you may see that all the bewitching skins are available. These are for Poppy, Yuumi, Fiora, Nami, Syndra and Morgana. Also, you may notice that Thresh has a different splash art. Truth be told, this kinda looks worse than the one before, and that's because if you focus on the face, the angle is wrong. I hope I'm not the only one who sees this, but the face looks like it was photoshopped on from another head where the heads didn't quite line up. It's a bit unsettling. I still appreciate what Riot is doing, but let's get rid of it and let's move on to PBE, where we have Dragonmancers. We knew that some form of a Dragonmancer mini-event would arrive because we saw the Kai'Sa emote before. So now it was finally confirmed what we will get. If you pay attention to her animations, you may see that the two cannons on her shoulders are actually the two heads of a two-headed dragon. The thing is, the shoulder cannons don't really look like dragon heads. I wish Riot was able to improve that, but besides that, it's a pretty cool skin. I never quite cared about Kai'Sa, so this doesn't really move me, but the cool thing is that her hair is braided now. Then there is Tranquility Dragon Karma, who is, say it with me, Prestige Pink. The issue is that despite this looking like a Prestige skin, it is not a Prestige skin. The only thing that distinguishes her from the real Prestige skins is the blue coloring. And that's the only color I like there. In my opinion, I don't like the color scheme. But hey, as it is with all of these skins, the spell effects are really cool. The model, But then there is Steel Dragon Thresh. Now, I see the steel. I don't see the dragon. Yes, you can see the dragon in the recalls, and yes, some of the aspects on him look draconic, like he has a scaly glove. I doubt you will be able to see that in-game. But the issue with this skin is that it looks really good. It's not really draconic. It's almost as if this one should be its own sub-skin line of the draconic universe. Yeah, I really like the black and green color combination, and I am a fan of the fact that he's not a human. And then there is Duality Dragon Volibear, where I don't see the dragon nor the duality. It feels like some of these skins were just put into the skin line without the effort to make them fit into the skin line. Just like the Thresh skin, it looks really awesome, but it doesn't feel like it is part of this universe. But I'm not gonna nitpick a Volibear skin, I am just happy he got one. And I'm glad he was finally turned into a proper panda. And speaking of being glad, I am also glad he got a real Prestige skin, which is, say it with me, Champagne Pink. At least the cool thing is that legitimately the Prestige skin looks better than the original. It could be because his hand actually looks draconic here, and it also could be because I love the dark vibes he gets during the ultimate. But besides the really cool Prestige skin, we are also getting a new legendary skin for Yasuo. Now, here's the deal. It's a legendary skin, it has new animations, those animations are really awesome. Overall, this skin is amazing. But what does it remind you of? Where have we seen this color combination on a Yasuo skin? That's right, Spirit Blossom. Now, it could be just me wearing my skeptical hat, but is it possible that Riot wanted to give Yasuo another skin with this exact color scheme, but they couldn't because he already had the Spirit Blossom skin? So what if he got a legendary skin because they had to distinguish the Spirit Blossom skin from the Draconic skin? What if they were forced to giving him new animations so that they could separate the two skins? What if that is the reason why he got a legendary skin? The fact that he's a popular champion is just a nice bonus. Again, it's just me being skeptical, but yeah, he already got the Spirit Blossom skin. Regardless, as I mentioned, this skin actually looks amazing. It has really cool animations and I love his ultimate, the one where he summons the dragon so he can jab down at his enemies. Brilliant. Also, during his home guard, he actually surfs on a dragon, but the dragon doesn't have tail physics just like Aurelion. Please fix that. But you know what's as awesome as Yasuo surfing on a dragon? It's Yasuo getting a new legendary skin. Again. So yeah, just like it is with some of the previous legendary skins, yes, he got two versions of these. There is the golden coloring, which I assume was the original skin. Riot always tries to make skins that look nothing like all the other skins the champions have. This one is pretty unique, so I believe that this was the original. The other one, the one that looks like the Spirit Blossom version, was just a secondary one, which they also liked, and so they released them both. This is not a new idea. We have seen this before with Leona, we have seen this before with Lux. The thing here is that the yellow skin is really just a chroma skin. Yes, the visual effects change as well, by which I mean that their colors change as well. The animations are pretty much the exact same. The only difference between the two skins is that they have slightly different voice lines. So it makes me wonder, what's the difference between these two skins being priced at the full price of a legendary skin and something like Pyke having a legendary skin with the different versions being chroma skins? Conceptually, they are the exact same thing, so what's the difference here? Why are the Yasuo skins more expensive than Pyke's project skins? Now yes, if you buy one of the legendary skins for Yasuo, the other one is discounted. But that is still more expensive than buying the skin and then a chroma with it. So I just wanted to point out that I'm fine with it, but it's certainly a bit strange. But speaking of chromas, of course, all of the other skins also got their chroma versions, but this time it feels like the colors are all over the place. I don't quite like any of them, but every now and then there is a good one. I really like the Black Bear Volibear, for example. Other than that, they just combine too many colors. The new extra thing is that the Obsidian Dragon set also got new chroma skins, and that's because in the previous wave of the Draconic skins, he only got the Prestige version. He didn't have any chroma skins besides that, so now finally he joins the rest. And to sprinkle in some extra stuff on top of that, we also got some new chromas for all the old skins as well. That reddish-greenish coloring is but it looks really good on Aurelion. Besides that, of course, there are new icons for the new champions, new icons for the old champions, and some loot assets. The last thing we can mention here is that Syndra got some new visual effects on her spells. The reason being is that the old spells were really hard to read. Like, if you have a look at the orbs, there is a lot of fuzz around them. And so, in a bigger teamfight, it was always really hard to see where they even are. Now, when she spawns the new orbs, they are really clean and they are very easy to see. And of course, all of this applies to all of her skins. So, you're welcome, Syndra mains. Now, even though that is technically it for PvE, there are more things which Riot revealed in their posts. We got a post talking about the ranked rewards, where they revealed the Victorious skin. Originally, they posted this image, which, of course, everyone thought would be Annie. Guess what, losers? It's Arcane time! So yes, the support class finally got a proper Victorious skin. Of course, Blitzcrank was chosen because it is a really cool tie-in to Arcane. And Blitzcrank is a champion that can be played by absolutely everyone. It's one of the most universal champions out there, so of course, it's a brilliant pick for a Victorious skin. Now, the brilliant thing about this is that, as you can see, there will be two different versions of the skin. Don't get them mistaken, one is for solo queue and the other one is for flex. The difference between them is in the gem. One is smooth, the other one is edgy. But when it comes to the colors, the exact same thing is happening. Gold one is pretty cool, Diamond is pretty awesome, Grandmaster, pretty cool, Challenger, Platinum, it happened with Lucian before, it's happening again. Some of the ranks don't look as good as the others. A nice bonus is that if you place gold or higher, you will also get Eternals for Blitzcrank. Also, since the season ends for Clash as well, there are also new Clash rewards for those of you who played a lot of Clash. The rewards are based on your victory points, so the more you played and the more you won, the more rewards you will get. The rewards are essentially logos, banners and icons. Lastly, in that post, Riot mentioned the new honor rewards, which this time around will not give us a new Chroma skin for the champions. Instead, we will get keys, champion shards, skin shards, and that's it. Not a massive reason to be honorable. But that's it for the post as well, so now, before we dive into the main event, which are the videos, there is one more thing. Merch. Because World started, of course, there will be some Victorious merch, just like last year. Essentially, you will be able to print out a shirt with your name and your rank on it. So if you want to publicly show people that you are silver, go ahead. And speaking of merch, since Worlds are also happening, of course there is new Worlds merch as well. Now, when it comes to the Worlds merch, the hoodies, just like the one I am wearing right now, were always amazing, the comfiest I have ever had. This year, I just really don't like the style. Then again, who am I to talk about style? So yeah, just know that the hoodies are up again. And this takes us to the main course. Memes. Riot posted a video talking about the state of the game, and in the very first minute, they topped their 200-year meme. They stated that they honestly don't believe the kits of their champions are overloaded. Of course, this immediately became a new meme, but I think Riot is right, but they worded it really poorly. What they meant to say is that despite giving a lot of tools to different champions, those champions always have a weakness. They don't have an answer to everything, to which, yeah, Riot is right at that, but that doesn't mean those kits are not overloaded. We have Akshan, a champion whose main ability is to resurrect people, but his main distinguishing ability is also his rope swinging. Did you know he also has a stealth? Why is the stealth there? Back in the day, a champion always had normal abilities that didn't do much, but there was always one very special ability. That ability separated the champions. Yes, everyone can have a Q skill shot. Yes, everyone can have AoE E damage. Yes, everyone can have a slow. But remember Evelynn and Rengar? Stealth is their theme. It's not something in their toolkit on the side. Stealth is a meaningful ability around which the champion should be centered. But nope, Akshan has it, because why not? Then there is Vex. Vex's main point is that she counters mobility. So why does her ultimate shoot her across the screen? She is supposed to be the enemy of mobility. Why does she use mobility herself? That mobility is a tool which she didn't need. And of course, Viego. He has a dash, he has a stun, he has a stealth, he has an execute, and that's not even counting his ultimate. Once again, why does he have a stealth? In the past, a champion that could do that would be centered around that single ability. But for Viego, that ability is literally just slapped on because why not? It fits thematically, why wouldn't he use it? And that's the problem. I don't think the kits are overloaded in a way where they can do everything. If they have a strong ability, they always have some kind of a disadvantage. Not Viego, he's kinda an exception. But in most cases, that's exactly what's happening. So you could argue that they are not overloaded. But they are compared to the old champions. Yes, you can always argue that there is a complex one and there is a simple one. What is Singed? Singed runs around and flips people. That's it. You immediately know what he can do, what he can't do. When you fight Akshan, how many of you think about the fact that he can just suddenly disappear? On top of resurrecting people and swinging around. So yeah, the big issue is that they shifted what used to be the big abilities into just small tools. Anyway, after that they talk about what they always talk about. How they are trying to focus on making simple champions and difficult champions so that everyone has a champion to play. To Riot's credit, yeah, They are good at that. They always release something insane and then something simple. There is something for everyone. Good job on that. But what's hilarious is that later on in the video, they mentioned that they know that sometimes when people fight an enemy, they don't even know what that enemy champion can do. They said that sometimes it is hard to read what the champions can do. You know why that is? It's because they have like 16 tools on them. If you make champions that can do 8 different things, of course you are gonna forget that they can do the 9th thing on top of that. You literally just said that you are aware of the fact that sometimes champions can be confusing because they do too many things. So why before did you say that they are not overloaded? Anyway, for my own good, let's move on. They then talk about the preseason, which, of course, since the last preseason was quite big, this time around they will only focus on the systems that already exist. For example, they will be improving the items. Mainly, they mentioned that there will be 2 new mythic items. One of them is for tanky supports. It's an item that increases damage taken to everyone around your target whenever you crown control someone. Then there is a new mythic item for mages, which reduces damage for a while after you take damage. But in that video, you can see that it makes you pretty much invulnerable. That will definitely have to change, because it's really like a mobile Zonias. But to counteract that, they helped assassins with legendary items. When it comes to legendary items, they changed their opinions. They decided that, yeah, why not, it's fine if one champion always builds the same item every game. If it's a perfect fit, why not? But it would be still good to give them some options, just in case. That's why we got new items for assassins. For example, an item that refunds a portion of your ultimate's cooldown on takedowns. Or a new item for tanks that gives you bonus health based on your total mana. Or a new item for mages that gives you spell penetration against targets who are recently shielded. This item is amazing. It is exactly what items should be like. You make a conscious decision to buy this item whenever you see that someone can shield a lot. This item is a decision maker. That's brilliant. Then we transition into runes, and of course, once again, we talk about the inspiration tree. As they mention every year, they said the identity of the inspiration tree is unclear. So they decided to make some of the runes in that tree better. How that fixes the identity crisis, I don't know. The issue is that the tree doesn't have an identity, and so they don't give it an identity, they don't make it the support tree. No, instead they just make some of the runes more viable, so that even if you have no idea what the tree is about, you will wanna use that one rune. I'm not exactly sure what is happening here. So yeah, get ready because next year we'll talk about it again. Then we got a new mechanic in the game, we got new objective bounties. As they said, they work exactly like normal bounties, except they don't. A normal bounty is claimed by anyone present for that bounty. Objective bounty is claimed by everyone. But the bounty still ramps up as the enemy team gains advantage, so the further you are behind, the more gold you will gain for the next dragon or baron or a tower. It's essentially another rubber band that can make the losing team win, but every time they do that, Riot always assures us that yes, the better team should always win, and so this will not be broken. So just like turret plating, 2 patches later it probably won't be. Anyway, of course, then we got 2 new dragons, which everyone already knows about. Of course, they are both themed around Arcane, so first of all there is the Hextech dragon. This dragon gives you attack speed and ability haste, and if you get the dragon soul with it, it will also give you a free static shift passive with a slow on top of that. Also, since the dragons change the environment, this one will spawn a portal that will take you to a specific location. That's all we know. The other one is the Chemtech dragon, which will give you extra damage based on your missing health. So beware all the champions who already have an execute effect. The dragon soul will also reanimate you upon your death, giving you a second chance to fight. Now, Riot always hesitated to add in mechanics that change the way you play, because new players would always get confused by them. When a new player gets randomly resurrected, they are gonna be confused. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, the really scary thing is the environment change. The Chemtech dragon actually spawns a camouflage area. Why is Riot obsessed by stealth? We don't really know how this is gonna work, but if you thought that it was kinda weird that Akshan and Viego had stealth, everyone has stealth now. Then once again we got a quick mention of the challenges, which are basically the achievement points for casuals. It will track anything from how much CS you got in the first 10 minutes of a game to how many skins you collected. That's gonna be the only achievement I get. And the system will arrive on PvE next month. And to end this all, Riot talked about their game modes. They talked about the fact that because some champions have weird abilities, they have to make sure that they always work on the new game modes. That's why it is not worth to keep the old game modes working. Yeah, sure, I'm fine with that. It absolutely makes sense. The more development you slap into it, the more time you want people to enjoy in it. So they pretty much confirmed that besides Earth and Nexus Blitz, none of the game modes are coming back. They are considering to update Doombots and Blood Moon? But that's because of one thing. You see, the Ultimate Spellbook was a wild success. When it comes to the engagement, which is a word everyone loves to hear, it was only second to Earth. So yes, Spellbook is staying, and in fact they will upgrade it. For the next wave, which is coming whenever, they will add in more ultimates, so there is more replayability. All of that is absolutely awesome. I am glad there is a new game mode that was a success. You know what that means? That's yet another reason why they will not do PvE again. They posted a separate post where they talked about this issue, and because I love PvE, I need to talk about this. They say that they don't want to do PvE because those game modes don't really have the engagement. People play it once or twice, they realize they saw everything there is in it and they don't play it again. Yeah, sure, I can see why that looks like an issue. But you have to realize, even if Odyssey had a very specific theme which not everyone loved, I did. In my opinion, Odyssey was the best event there has ever been in the entirety of League of Legends. But you can't deny that everyone loved Star Guardian. The Star Guardian event was amazing, people loved it. Yes, they played it once or twice, they really enjoyed it and then they were done. But you know where that issue comes from? It comes from the issue that you didn't put replayability into that game mode. Star Guardian and Odyssey were the best things League has ever seen. So don't write it off because people don't play it more. People don't play it more because you didn't give it more content. That's a totally different reason. Ultimate Spellbook was popular because it had a lot of replayability. At the beginning of every game, your champion played differently. So I would love to see the numbers after you take Odyssey and you give Odyssey random ultimates. Suddenly there would be replayability. Maybe it's really just me, but I feel like Riot is looking at a totally different issue. They have a game mode that has really amazing potential, but they don't give it everything it needs, therefore people don't play it as much and therefore it is seen as a failure? Maybe I'm weird in this, but the reasoning feels odd to me. Anyway, moving on, they mentioned that Snowdown Showdown was so bad that you had to wait 10 minutes to get into a game. And by far the worst one was the Nemesis pick, where you picked champions for your enemies. The reason why that one was bad is because the majority of the games were dodged. For obvious reasons. But yeah, the key point to take away from this post is that they are not doing PvE because, I don't know, even though they did it before and we know they can do it again. And since we are on the topic of enraging the community with weird decisions, we need to talk about the fact that Riot is removing all chat from League of Legends. Now, they added that they will be removing it for a single patch. Apparently, this is how they test if it really reduces toxicity. Which, of course it will. You will have less ways to talk to people. I'm not really sure if you can measure this. Anyway, the reason why the community is enraged is obvious. Some people really like flaming. And since it can be disabled and in fact new accounts have it disabled by default, why remove it for everyone? Well, here's where I really shouldn't be talking about this. Because my opinion does not matter. I am someone who has played without chat for years now. When I play well, I play well. When I make a mistake, I know I made a mistake. I don't need someone to crap on me for that. So I willingly disabled chat because I know it would tilt me. So when it comes to me, I honestly don't care about the chat being removed. With that said, removing all chat really won't help things. It is usually your teammates who are flaming you. It is the team chat that should be addressed. But regardless, when it comes to the reason why it was removed, even though you can disable it yourselves, I understand the reasoning. If you are not someone like me who gets really anxious from other people flaming them, you likely won't understand this. The point is not that you willingly ignore what people say about you. The point is that if you disable the chat, people will still crap on you, but they will do it behind your back. Even though you can't see the chat, you know what they are saying. And you still get a bit anxious from that anyway. That's simply because there are people like me who really care about what other people think about them. I know this is not the healthiest mentality to have when you are a content creator. But still, that's exactly what's happening to me. So I honestly understand both sides. I understand why some people are mad that they can't crap on the enemy team anymore. And I understand why Riot removed it. It is not the best solution, but there is a reason why, for example, in Valorant the toxicity is also really high, while in Legends of Runeterra the community is really awesome. It's because there the only thing you can do is to be passively aggressive. So yeah, once again, I've had my chat disabled for years now, so my opinion on this really doesn't matter. I am not the targeted audience. So feel free to form your own opinions. Regardless of the outcome, even if Riot is going to permanently disable it, because that's exactly what they are gonna do after this patch, the community will be on fire. But now, let's continue with the video. So now let's move on to something really positive. Wild Rift. Wild Rift is getting a new really big patch, which has a lot of new content. We got first, new champions. Veigar is the first one, and he has furry ears. Then there is Caitlyn, she got the new looks based on the Arcane series. And we got the new Jace, which I assume will look like that in the Arcane series as well. Both of them look amazing. Another big feature is guilds. You will be able to form a guild in Wild Rift, where you will be able to invite people and together you will grind towards your own collective goals. There is a new progression system through which you can grind together. I already really love this, but things get better. Your guilds will have their own logo, their own tag, and everything a guild should have, such as their modding system, guild chat, stuff like that. But every week there will also be a guild war. You will get assigned to one of two champions and you will be matched against a random guild. And as you play together with your guildmates, you will earn points for your side. Now here's the thing, the system is not as simple, it has some friction, but that friction is absolutely amazing! You see, at the beginning of the event, your guild is split into two halves. One half is armed and the other half is unarmed. Unarmed people will not get the rewards at the end of the event. But you can simply arm them by playing only one game with someone in your guild who is already armed. This forces people in the guild to play together. You want the people who are armed to play with as many unarmed people as possible, so that everyone gets the rewards at the end. It's a brilliant social system. And of course, by doing this, you earn points towards the event. Towards the end of the event, if you also play as a team of 5, while gaining points for your own team, you will also take away points from the enemy team. And so there is a catch-up mechanic if you don't have a good start. Anyway, guilds look absolutely awesome, and because League of Legends already has the Chromium in it, we talked about it in the last news, this means that something like this should be implemented for League of Legends as well. I am really looking forward to that. Besides this, there is also a new pass. This time we are getting a Hexplorer Tristana, and we got improved UI for it. I have to say, the pass in Wild Rift always feels amazing. You can play like 3 games per week, and you can cap it off. In Valorant, for example, the pass is a lot grindier, but here, it's pretty good. And then it takes us to what I assume is gonna be the best improvement for a League of Legends game there has ever been. Since Wild Rift matchmaking will now focus on the hidden MMR, or your real skill, that means that eventually you will be forced to play against people who have your skill level, but they are higher rank. For example, if you have the skills of a platinum player but you are in silver, you will play in a lobby where everyone has the platinum borders, but you are the only one with silver. During these games, everyone thinks that you are a scrub. And that's how toxicity is born. So what did Wild Rift do? They give you a badge that shows people that you are better than your current rank. League of Legends needs this! This is such a good weapon against toxicity! Why isn't this in League of Legends? Brilliant job, Wild Rift, it's a really awesome change. But speaking of awesome things, let's cap this off with the last thing. Skins. Since the Draconic event is happening in League of Legends, of course it will also happen in Wild Rift. So there, we are getting a skin for Kai'Sa, Brand, Aurelion, Ashe, and an exclusive skin for Master Yi. All of this will be part of the Way of the Dragon event. But besides that, we are also getting Divine Sword Irelia, Riven, Nami, Bewitching Jenna, Underworld Wukong, Solar Eclipse Leona, the best skin there has ever been, Headhunter Caitlyn, and Superb Villain Veigar, the third skin I ever bought. And at the very end of the video it was mentioned that Wild Rift will have an Arcane event. So we can assume, because of the dragons, something like that will also be in League of Legends and most likely Legends of Runeterra. That is right, we are getting a new event. Please be good, please be good, please be good.